There's no question that Splatoon 3 is dying. I mean, look at this graph. The numbers, they don't lie. Even within the last year, the search popularity for Splatoon 3 has decreased by almost 75%. Now, I'm sure there's one question that you all have. Why? Why is a game that was dubbed Multiplayer Game of the Year dying already? Before I get into this, I want to mention that I love Splatoon, and I've been playing it ever since the original release in 2015. By no means do I think it's a terrible game, and this is just my opinion on the situation. I think that first off, we need to take a look at the first installment in the series, Splatoon. Released in 2015, this was crazy. All the fun weapons, even though some were completely broken, and new quirky mechanics really set this one apart from other shooter games. Even the bright, flashing colors alone were enough to grab your attention. Overall, Splatfest themes were pretty fun, and the community was thriving at the time. Then, Splatoon 2. Completely upgraded maps, even more weapons, Splatfest have custom stages, off the hook, new hero mode, Octo expansion, and a completely new mode, Salmon Run. And then Splatoon 3. A lot of the freshness that we felt with the release of Splatoon 2 really wasn't here. The new stages all had Tetris block designs, and a lot of the weapons were simply recycled from the previous games. Going back to this Google Trends graph, we can see that Splatoon 3 hit its popularity peak around December of 2022 when the first new season released. And looking farther, a lot of this popularity quickly died off and unfortunately has remained on the decline since. Think about Splatoon 2's Splatfest. We got an entirely new map with a bunch of fun gimmicks every Splatfest, but in Splatoon 3, it just feels like Dark Mode Turf War. There's not really a whole lot that's special about it. And then Big Run. Why are the gold medals so unnecessarily hard to get? I understand that it's not supposed to be easy, and yes, they did have set goals last time, but without the ability to communicate with other players in solo queue makes even the smallest tasks a struggle. I think another issue that could be brought up is the catalog system. I have never in my life experienced FOMO quite like this before. With a new season releasing every few months, along with a new catalog, the levels really feel like a long grind. I personally think Splatoon should just allow you to go back and use the extra levels that you got to claim rewards of past catalogs if you missed them, or simply make the requirements to level up just a little bit lower. Literally, how many times have you been disconnected from a Splatoon match when you had perfectly good internet connection? Everyone who's ever played Splatoon has seen this message at least 100 times. The reason for all these errors is because Splatoon 3 operates using a peer-to-peer method as opposed to using dedicated servers, which is what most popular multiplayer games use. This is a decision I'm still unsure of why they made to this day. To explain this simply, using the peer-to-peer method means that consoles connect directly to each other, with one console acting as the host that tracks things like the score and environment. The host is chosen based on the most stable connection, so you can imagine, yeah, there's gonna be some issues.
Fight!
Huh? The reason Nintendo might opt for this method is because it is actually faster. Now, let me explain here. Using dedicated servers is often more stable, making sure that, for example, if this player has poor internet connection, the rest of the players in the lobby aren't affected by it. The peer-to-peer method does not account for this, which in turn often creates a lot of lagging and disconnects when playing Splatoon 3, which ultimately can be extremely annoying, especially when it leads to getting timed out. While all these points might seem very discouraging for the future of Splatoon as a whole, I can tell you right now, there's still a good amount of hope for this game to come back. Let's look at some of the things Splatoon is doing right. First off, I should point out that this game sold a record-breaking 10 million copies in only 1 year, making it the fastest-selling game ever in Japan, and that number is still ever growing. Even if only 25% of those people are still active, that's still 2.5 million Inklings and Octolings worldwide. Secondly, Nintendo massively upgraded the hero mode in this release. With its similarity to Octo expansion, a lot of players absolutely loved this hero mode because the levels were actually challenging for once. Finally, the last factor that I believe will spike Splatoon's popularity once again is the upcoming Side Order DLC. Considering the huge success of the Octo expansion DLC for Splatoon 2 back in 2018, we can expect something amazing for this story, which in turn can not only bring in new players, but bring current players back to the game. Anyways, that's just my opinion on the situation. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are.